Hey VC, what's up? It's me, yours truly. I am back to do another quick video here, coming to you this time from the Boom Boom Room, just to show you some recent finds, updated some things I've picked up over the past, actually just kind of the past few days, I guess. Uh, been kind of busy the last couple weeks with work and all that good stuff, and I've been selling a lot of stuff, but hadn't been actually been going out and picking up stuff. So I had a few minutes over the past couple days and went out and just kind of stumbled across a number of good things. So I just want to kind of share with you recent finds, as well as a couple of reissues that I didn't know had been reissued. So just in case there's some other fans of this band, well, I know there's some metalheads that or love this band. Just in case you weren't aware these were reissued, just want to kind of share those as well. So let's just kind of jump right into it. Start off with kind of some good 80s hair stuff right here with Twisted Sister. Can't Stop Rock and Roll. Nice piece I've been wanting to get in my collection for quite some time, so it was nice to finally find that. Only $4 too, which was fantastic. Another great pickup here. Black Sabbath, Live Evil. It's a nice 2 LP set. This is one I've been wanting to get for quite some time as well. I've been needing one for my Black Sabbath box set, and this is one of those albums that you can stumble across it all the time, but it's usually in pretty rough condition because people actually played and listened to this album quite a bit. And so it was nice to find at least a decent copy to go into my set for now. As you can see, it does have a little bit of ring wear right there, but everything else is mint from top to bottom. So yeah, this is definitely a nice copy that'll keep me happy until maybe sometime in the future if I stumble across one that's in absolute perfect condition there. So another good pickup. And here's another one where as I was digging through the stacks, I saw it, made a little noise, people looked at me, and just kind of knew I was very happy about something that I found. And it's a UFO Fawcett. And this is a bit from a search perspective, not value, but from a search perspective, and not even rarity, but from a search perspective, this is definitely was a big grail for me because I've been looking for a great copy of this album at a great price for a couple of years now. This is one of those albums where you could easily get on eBay or Amazon or Discogs or whatever else. You'll find a ton of these for sale, and for a perfect mint copy, you'll pay anywhere from $20-$25 to around $30 or $35, depending on the pressing and all of that. Maybe a little bit more for some other pressings, but it's an album you can easily get in your possession for $20-$25. So, again, when I say grail, I'm not talking about the value, but it's just, number one, I didn't want to pay that much for one, and this is one that just, for some strange reason, I was determined to find one in a record store. I wasn't willing to buy one online. And I don't even know where that came from with this album. But yeah, I went to one of the local stores that I go to, that I do most of my selling to, and he was like, dude, came in perfect time. Just 2 days ago, we bought a whole hard rock and metal collection, and I know you really dig that stuff, and we just put it out, 450 records. And I'm like, okay, because I had been selling stuff to them for the past week and a half and had quite a bit of credit there because I just hadn't been shopping. So I was like, I got credit and you got a new collection in. We're about to have a good day. And as I was looking through it, it was a great collection too. I mean, it was a lot of stuff I already had. It was like Dio, Holy Diver, the first 4 Iron Maiden albums, and a lot of good White Snake and some 80s hair metal stuff. So it was a fantastic collection. It's just, for me, I already had 90% of everything that was in there. So, but as I was digging through, this popped up, and I was like, oh, there it is. And my first thought was, our record just be in good condition, just be in great condition. Pulled it out, mint across the board, not a mark, played flawless, and he only had $9 on it. And I thought, finally, UFO Fawcett's in my collection. And the funny thing is, he actually got 2 copies in that collection. They were both mint, and he had $9 on both of them. So my first instinct was to buy both of them. And then literally I sat there as I was walking around with them, and I thought, as exciting as I was, and I know as as rare as this kind of pops up in local collections and not being an expensive record, I went ahead and put it back, literally thinking I want to leave this for the next guy that's been looking for a copy of this as long as I have, and give him or her a chance to jump for joy when they stumble across it in this stack for only $9. So yeah, really really good stuff. But this is the kind of stuff that makes going to the record stores, just really really fun and exciting. And I wasn't as familiar with that album for the longest time, and I was introduced to it by Kurt Hammett from Metallica. He was doing an interview on that metal show a number of years ago, and he was talking about UFO being the greatest band of all time and how much it inspired him to play and blah blah blah. And he said that Mother Mary was his favorite UFO song of all time. And I'm like, I have no idea this album, that song. And so that's when I first heard about it and then started looking for that album. So really, really great stuff there. That was a great find. Next here, Arto, we have Free. This is, again, a cool album. Nice little mixture. It kind of falls somewhere in between free jazz and smooth jazz. And this actually is a good album that touches on a great video that Ball Metal Nerd put out a little while ago, where he was kind of asking the question, is it worth it to still go to record stores? And sorry, I turned my phone off there. And basically what he was talking about was, the higher cost that you see at record stores as opposed to online, not being able to go in and just get exactly what you want in a record store like you can online. And he was just kind of talking about the pros and cons of record stores and online shopping. And he made a lot of really good points, a lot of stuff he said I agreed with and so forth, but just kind of a good discussion piece for record collectors. But like one of the things that I love about going to record stores and what kind of really makes it worth it to me is that a vast majority of the time, literally every one out of every 6, maybe 7 times I go to a record store, do I actually think I'm going to come home with something. So a vast majority of the time, I'm thinking when I go to a record store, I'm not going to be coming home with anything. So I'm going to the record store because, I want to browse. You never know what's going to be coming in. I want to be around other people that really enjoy vinyl and enjoy music. With the 2-3 main stores that I go to, I absolutely love the owners of those stores. The couple of the co-workers that are there, have gotten really, really close to, and it's just like I love being around those guys. It's really no different to me than if I was inviting them to my house to hang out than when I'm hanging out with them at the store. So, that to me is really kind of the biggest value in going to record stores, and then stuff like this where you eardrop all of this stuff that you just never would have probably heard anyplace else, because these guys are just dropping records and playing all kind of stuff, and you never know what you're going to discover. So to me, that really is still the biggest value of going to local record stores. Not to mention, trying to support the actual brick and mortar buildings too, because we don't want those to go away. But blah blah blah. So anyway, this is one he was playing the other day, and I just thought it was freaking awesome. And I'd never heard of him, and I was like, okay, I really, really want that. It's like, how much is it? And I thought he was going to say, because again, I'm looking at this thinking, I don't know if this is some rare jazz record that costs $30, $40 or whatever else, and I'm, of course, not going to pay that much for it. It's like, I'm throwing $4 on there. Like, put it in the stack. So, really, really cool stuff there. Same thing here. I'm sure a lot of people in the VC are very familiar with this record, but I was not. This is Bird. Is it what Joe? No, yeah, Joe Bird and the Field Hippies. Just kind of some nice hippie / psychedelic stuff. Again, I'm not as up on the psychedelic side of things, which I want to actually discover more, because I do love it. But yeah, so again, one that I eardropped at that same store. Really, really cool stuff. And then those reissues I was telling you guys about, for those of you that love this band and maybe didn't know that they had been reissued yet, Testament just reissued The Legacy. And maybe I'm late to the deal, but I didn't discover it till just recently. So, just kind of really nice 180 gram pressing. A nice $19-20 reissue, which is awesome. Because this wasn't exactly the cheapest album to get when searching for original pressings, especially in decent shape. So that was fantastic. And then they also reissued Low, another fantastic Testament album. And I just sold some stuff on eBay last night, so today I'm going to purchase the Ritual. They also reissued that one. I think it's also $19 or $21 or something like that. So a lot of great Testament reissues that have just been released. Moving right along. Still working on the Earth, Wind, and Fire collection. This is Spirit. Another fantastic classic, Earth, Wind, and Fire. And here you have Blind Melon. You guys remember this classic from the 90s. This is a music on vinyl pressing. Yeah, and again, another kind of classic album. I mean, you guys all know, I shouldn't say classic, but I mean, it's legendary for its time and what it was. Let's put it that way. And yeah, he had this sitting in the bins for quite some time. I mean, it's probably been there a good 2 or 3 years. And so, I brought it to the counter and just kind of say, hey, what do you think? And he was like, yeah, we need to get rid of it, to get it moving, blah, blah, blah. So, he gave me a nice little discount on it. And I thought, well, hey, that price is definitely worth bringing into the collection. And again, all that trade they've been building up was burning my pocket. So it was nice to find something to spend it on. Another good pickup, Patricia Barber. This is a Distortion of Love, nice 2 LP MoFi set. And again, maybe for those that aren't quite familiar with her, jazz / vocal jazz type of thing. Beautiful album. I mean, it definitely just kind of put on and just really kick back and like really, really chill to. It's just kind of a very mellow type of jazz / vocal jazz. I love just about everything on it, but this would have been a good answer on that thread we just did recently, where there was a question of an album that you love with a song that you hate. This one really fits on there well, because this is an awesome album. I mean, I like almost every song on it, except she does a cover of The Temptations' My Girl, which is arguably the worst rendition of that song I've ever heard in my entire life. I have no idea why they did it. Number one, you're trying to follow up The Temptations. You probably have to take it up a notch, and it's just horrible. Like, I'm listening to the song almost cringing, thinking, why would you put that song on an album this good? But other than that, fantastic. I would just forever skip over that song. Next here, Deep Time. Excuse me, another eardrop pickup. I'd never heard of this band before, but when I heard them in the record store, they sounded they sounded like a spin-off of a Stereo Lab. Like that was like a kind of the sense that I got from. Not quite as artsy as Stereo Lab, but with just kind of the vocal delivery and everything else, that's certainly kind of a type of impression that I got from them. And I love Stereo Lab. I think they're fantastic. So that was also a new find of a band I wasn't familiar with Deep Time. And last but not least, just a classic that I had to get back into the collection. Chuck Manigoni, Feels So Good. The title track, Feels So Good, is arguably one of my top 10 favorite smooth jazz songs of all time. Actually, maybe even top 5. I mean, I would be willing to go almost that far. So, great dollar bin find. I just needed to get a mint copy of one since I purged my other one quite some time ago, and boom, Chuck is back in. So those are the recent finds from recently. So as always, let me know what you think, and we'll talk to you soon, VC. All right, take care, guys.